Dear members, good morning and warm welcome to the 44th Annual General Meeting of Orientbell Limited. Before I hand over to the Chairman to declare the meeting open, I would like to highlight certain points. Today, the AGM is being held through video conferencing or other audio-visual facility in compliance with the circulars issued by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Securities and Exchange Board of India. The joining of this meeting opened 30 minutes prior to the scheduled time of commencement of the meeting. The meeting will remain open for another 15 minutes of time after the end of the meeting. I would like to put forth certain points which are relevant for participation in this meeting.
Facility of joining through video conferencing or other audio-visual means is being made available for the members on first-come, first-served basis. The large shareholders, promoters, institutional investors, directors, KMPs, chairpersons of the audit committee, nomination and remuneration committee, and stakeholders relationship and grievance committee, auditors, etc. are allowed to attend the AGM without any restriction on account of first-come, first-served basis. Since there is no physical attendance of the members, the requirement of appointing proxies is not applicable. However, the body corporate is entitled to appoint authorized representatives to attend the AGM through VC or other audio-video means and participate and cast their votes through e-voting. The registered office of the company at Secunderabad, Uttar Pradesh shall be deemed as the venue for this AGM, and proceedings of the AGM shall be deemed to be transacted thereat. All the members who have joined this meeting are by default placed on mute. To avoid any disturbance arising from background noise and to ensure smooth conduct of the meeting, company has received requests from a few members for registration as speaker shareholders. Considering the paucity of time, questions received from first 5 shareholders will be taken up. Once the question answer session starts, the chairman will announce the names of the shareholders who have registered themselves as speaker shareholder one by one. The speaker shareholder will thereafter be unmuted by the host to start speaking. Speaker shareholders are requested to turn their audio video on. If the speaker shareholder is not able to join the video for any reason, the shareholder can speak through the audio mode only. While speaking, we would request the speakers to use the earphones so that he is clearly audible, minimize any noise in the background, ensure that the Wi-Fi is not connected to any other device, no other background applications are running, and there is proper lighting to have a good video and audio experience. If there is connectivity problem at speaker's end, we would ask next speaker to join. Once the connectivity improves, we called again to speak. We would like to request shareholders to kindly limit their speech to 3 minutes. Non-registered shareholders as speakers who are attending this meeting through VC today may also express their views and raise questions in the chat box provided. Responses to the questions, if any, will be provided either during the course of the meeting or thereafter separately, depending on the availability of time. With this, I now request the chairman to take over. I request the chairman to take over for the rest of the proceedings.
Thank you, Yogesh. Good morning, all shareholders. I welcome all the shareholders to the 44th Annual General Meeting of Orientbell Limited. I'm attending the AGM from Goa. As the requisite quorum is present, I, Mahendra K. Daga, Chairman of the company, declare the meeting open. I welcome other colleagues on the board of your company to the AGM. Now let me request your directors to introduce themselves. Mr. Madhur Daga.
Good morning, everyone. I am Madhur Daga, Managing Director of the company, and I am attending this AGM through VC from Delhi.
Mr. K.M. Pai.
May I request Mr. Pai to please unmute?
Sorry. Good morning. I am K.M. Pai. I am a non-executive and non-independent director. I am attending this AGM from Bangalore.
Mr. Samir Kamboj.
Namaskar. My name is Samir Kamboj, Independent Director and Chairman of the Audit Committee of the company. I am attending this AGM from my home in Faridabad.
PM Mathai.
Good morning, everyone. I am PM Mathai. I am Independent Director and Chairman of Nomination and Remuneration Committee of the company. I'm attending the AGM from Bangalore.
Mrs. Tanuja Joshi.
Good morning to all. My name is Tanuja Joshi. I'm the Independent Director and Chairperson of the Stakeholders Relationship and Grievance Committee of the company. I'm attending this AGM through VC from Delhi.
Apart from the directors, the key executives of the company include Mr. Aditya Gupta, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Himanshu Jindal, Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Yogesh Mendiratta, Company Secretary, are also present in the meeting. The representatives of our statutory auditors and secretarial auditors are also present at this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank all the members for joining this meeting. I hope all of you are safe and in good health. In compliance with circulars issued by MCA, SEBI, this annual general meeting is being held through video conference. A live streaming of this meeting is also being webcast on NSDL's website. The company has taken requisite steps to enable members to participate and vote on the items being considered at this AGM. Members who have not voted earlier through remote e-voting can cast their vote in the course of the meeting through e-voting facility. The registers are required under the Companies Act 2013 are open for inspection. Since the notice is already circulated to the members, I take the notice convening this meeting as read. The agenda in brief will be informed by the company secretary during the meeting. The auditor's report on the standalone and consolidated financial statements and the secretarial audit report of the company for the financial year ended March 31, 2021 does not contain any qualification, reservation, adverse remark, or disclaimer. Accordingly, the reports are not required to be read out as provided in the Companies Act 2013. Now, with your permission, I will begin my formal address. Dear shareholders, your company has navigated fiscal year 2021 with a purposeful focus on business rejuvenation with new initiatives created to address the unique challenges brought in by the pandemic. The company's efforts on reimagining business processes have helped drive an across-the-board improvement in performance metrics, both financial and customer. The strong operational development ensured that the company has zero net debt at the year end. The board of directors have recommended to restore the dividend payout this year. The proposed dividend is 5%. On people front, your company has focused on safety with regular sanitization of workplace, flexible work from home practices, COVID tests, and health awareness program for employees. The awards for Best Brand of the Year and Best Mobile App, felicitated by Reality Plus, a key publication focusing on real estate, and the award for Best Infrastructure Brand by the Economic Times are feathers in the cap. With these words, I would like to thank the channel partners, suppliers, bankers, business partners, and other stakeholders for their continued cooperation and support. I would also like to place on record for the dedicated services and contribution made by the employees of the company at all levels. Last but not the least, my deepest gratitude to the board for its guidance and to all shareholders for reposing faith in the company. Thank you very much. Now, I hand over to Mr. Madhu Daga, MD of the company, to say a few words.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, dear shareholders. Very warm welcome to all of you at the 44th AGM of Orientbell Limited. I would now like to present to you some key highlights of your company during FY 2021. As we all know, FY 2021 was a difficult year, not only for the company, but for both the industry and the world at large. During FY 2021, your company has registered net sales of 500 crores as against 491 crores in FY 19-20, thus growing at 2%. This was despite a near washout of Q1 of FY 21. The quarter-wise growth during the course of the year showcases the strong recovery of the company since the lockdown was withdrawn. Your company grew 6% in Q2, 21% in Q3, and 43% in Q4. For the full year, EBITDA was higher at rupees 37 crores, and our full year operating margin was 7.4% versus 6.4% the previous year. This was despite an 8.6 crore EBITDA loss reported for Q1, when the operations were severely impacted due to the unprecedented COVID-led lockdown. Consolidated PBT for the full year 2 was almost 4 times of last year, while PAT 2 was higher at rupees 7.7 crores. The consistent cash flow improvement from both core operations and working capital made this possible. During FY 2021, while many were retrenching, OBL hired 220 plus employees across various functions and departments. Salesforce numbers were augmented by 10%, and 4 new branches were opened to provide local support to our channel partners and customers. Close to 12,000 plus human hours were spent on learning and development. An online chatbot service, Aarthi, was launched to provide 24/7 assistance and query answering service to our sales team. To make learning and continuous practice a mobile learning platform was also launched. Over the last 2 years, OBL has strengthened its product portfolio by launching 8 new categories with 500 plus SKUs. Products such as paver, germ-free tiles both in wall and floor, steps, 300 by 450, high gloss, germ-free, sparkle series, elevation series, full body vitrified tiles, and many new designs in GVT were introduced starting July 2020. The industry's first online launch happened with both sales teams and channel partners attending virtually. The company utilized the lockdown to re-establish contact with many dormant channel partners across India and resolve their grievances. This, along with our outreach to new channel partners, helped the company add and revive 400 plus new channel partners who contributed to 10% of total revenues of FY21. Your company also added 69 new tile boutiques in targeted cities. This was the highest in any single year in the history of our company. This addition resulted in 230 plus OBTBs, Orientbell tile boutiques, across the country as of March 31st, 21. Our efforts towards a digital-first marketing team have already started paying us great dividends, especially as customer mobility during FY21 was severely constrained. During the current financial year, we increased social media initiatives and internet-based advertising to create higher visibility and brand recall. In fiscal 2021, we had launched approximately 80 videos on social media with a remarkable 5.5 crore views and 1 crore likes and shares. This is absolutely superb content engagement. OBL has invested in its website to educate customers about products, helping them to make informed purchase decisions and identify local channel partners that offer the company's product range. The increased number of leads generated through the internet is also helping our channel sell out faster and building loyalty for OBL. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the shareholders for attending this meeting. I would also like to thank the team of your company for its dedicated efforts and consistency in selling through this very difficult time. Thank you, and I now hand it over back to the chairman.
Thank you, Madhur. For further proceedings, I hand over to the company secretary.
Thank you so much, Chairman. I would like to mention that as per the Companies Act 2013 and SEBI listing regulations which provide for electronic voting, the company has provided to its members a facility to cast their votes through the remote e-voting system administered by NSDL. Facility of voting at the AGM is also provided to the members present in the meeting and who have not yet voted. Members may please go to the voting page of the NSDL e-voting website and cast their votes while at the same time watch the proceedings of the meeting. The notice calling AGM contains ordinary businesses as well as special businesses on agenda. Ordinary businesses include the adoption of annual accounts for financial year 2020-2021 and the reports of auditors and directors thereon. The reappointment of Mr. Madhu Daga, who is retiring by rotation, and the declaration of dividend at 50 paise per equity share. The special businesses include the reappointment and remuneration of Mr. Madhu Daga, Managing Director of the company, for a further period of 3 years from 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2025 by way of special resolution. The reappointment of Mr. Sameer Kamboj as an independent director of the company for the second term of 5 years from 27th July 21 to 26th July 2026 by way of special resolution. The appointment of Mr. K.M. Pai as an independent director of the company for a term of 5 years from 1st April 2022 to 31st March 27 by way of ordinary resolution, and the approval of Orientbell Employees Stock Option Scheme 2021 by way of special resolution. Ms. Ashu Gupta, practicing company secretary, has been appointed as scrutinizer to scrutinize the votes cast at the meeting and through the remote e-voting. Since the AGM is being held through video conference or other audio-visual means, and the resolutions mentioned in the notice convening this AGM have been already put to vote through remote e-voting, there will be no proposing and seconding of resolutions. I will now request the chairman to proceed further with the meeting.
Thank you, Yogesh. Now I will take questions and invite the speakers who have registered themselves as speaker shareholders. First, Mr. Chinmaya Khatua.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My question to the management is, how has the growth been in the last year for projects versus retail channels? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chinmaya. Now I invite the second speaker, Ms. Anupama Gupta.
Present Anupama Gupta is not online, sir. Can we respect to other speaker holder?
Yes. I will now invite the next speaker, Mr. Ashok Joshi.
Mr. Ashok Joshi. Moderator, can we have the Mr. Ashok Joshi online?
Yes, sir, he is online.
Is he online?
We can't hear him. Mr. Ashok Joshi? Sir, we can move on to the next speaker.
Yeah. I invite the next speaker, Ms. Astha Kapoor.
Hi, good morning to all. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so in fact, the first thing is I want to compliment the company management, as the company's balance sheet has become very strong. So congratulations to all of you for that. And I really want to compliment the consistent performance during financial year 2021, despite Q1 was complete washout due to COVID-19. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Astha. And now I invite the next speaker from Equity Intelligence India Private Limited.
Hi, good morning all. I am Poranju Veliyat from Equity Intelligence. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to congratulate the management team, the promoters and the board, for doing a fantastic job in the last few years by, as you told, by Chairman Sir was talking about reimagining and reinventing and restructuring the business. It's a fantastic brand. I have been an investor in this stock for the last almost 15 years in various capacities. Now we are holding around 5%. I'm really very happy as an investor. But more importantly, it's a pleasure to see a company growing with a clean slate of affairs. And most importantly, I would say the open mind of the promoters, Mr. Mahinder and Madhur Daga, for employing strong people in the management. That was the beginning of, I think, the new journey the company has been doing. So that way, it's a fantastic job making a clean balance sheet and keeping the brand intact and increasing the distribution network. So I think we have created a platform to make a $1 billion company going forward. I'm very confident, and it's a wonderful job, I would say. Though we are a small company, things have been done or taken up like a large, blue chip company in the listed space. Anyway, a couple of things I would like to ask. Now the leadership team, we have CFO and CEO from the similar industry. Others, including our Aditya, the CEO, the CMO, CHO, and CSO. We see mostly they're wonderful people. It should be from other non-related industries, but fantastic background and great companies they have been with. So I just would like to get a feedback from managing director. what was the experience till now with the people from outside the industry, and how it is taken forward. And another question, my second small, it's not a question, just would like to know, the two companies, Proton Granito and Coriel Ceramic. So now I think we are minority shareholders in this company. So what do they do, and what is the way forward? Are they going to be 100% subsidiaries of our company? That's the second point. And also I would like to know, do we have any special initiative to increase our penetration in the West and the South markets? The Southern market is really, faster growing economies. So I would like to know about these two. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Parinju. Yogesh, any more questions or comments?
Sir, Anupama Gupta is online.
So, sir, Anupama Gupta is online. So we can have her call now. Yeah.
Okay, Anupama. Anupama, please present your views or questions.
नमस्कार, क्या आप बिल्कुल सुन पा रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल सुन पा रहा हूँ।
मेरा नाम अनुपमा गुप्ता है। मैं कंपनी के बारे में कुछ कहना चाहती हूँ। आपकी नई एनुअल रिपोर्ट बहुत सुंदर है और टाइल इंडस्ट्री में सबसे अच्छी है। और कंपनी ने जो अर्निंग कॉल के द्वारा डिस्क्लोजर का सिलसिला चालू किया है वह बहुत अच्छा है। इससे हम लोगों को कंपनी के मैनेजमेंट से मिलने और बात करने का मौका मिला है। मैं कंपनी को बधाई देती हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you. Can we have moderator? Can we have Ashok Joshi online?
No, sir. It's not online.
Okay. Sir, we can move on since he is unable to join.
Okay. We have received all the questions and all the comments and observations. I thank Ms. Anupama and Astha for the inspiring and kind comments. Though most of the questions have been covered by MD under his speech, and questions by speaker shareholders will be answered in specific by the MD and executives of the company. The rest of the questions, if any, will be answered offline in view of paucity of time. I'll hand this over to the Managing Director.
Thank you, Chairman. So thank you everyone who gave the company and its team all the compliments. Really appreciate that. Special note of thanks to Parinju. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your faith in the company, and of course, thank you for all of the encouragement and the very kind words. You have 3 questions. Your first question was on feedback on my views and feedback on the leadership team, with the perspective that they are all from an industry which is really very far away from tiles. Your second point, your third question, which for me is the second, is what are our plans in terms of West and South? And the third was on our partners, Coriel and Proton. I will be answering the first two, and I'll let our CEO and CFO add to what they want to about West, South, and our JD partners. So I think it's wonderful that I have an opportunity to speak about our leadership team, who collectively have now been around since the beginning, early 2017. I'd first like to state for the record that this was a choice that I made by design, to have members of all our leadership team, other than our Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Anil Agarwal. Other than him, it was a very conscious choice to hire from outside of the industry. And the reason was very simple. The reason was that my goal was and is to make this a sustainable business, not only in terms of revenue, but really in terms of longevity. And therefore, I was looking at industries which have been able to do this. I was looking at industry where scale and scale via professional management was second nature, which is why I invested a lot of my time, thankfully so, to make sure that we get the absolute best leadership that we can and set an example for our own industry. I would like to make a point here that this journey of transforming the leadership of the company started in 2018, and there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that the first 2 years required a lot of patience from everyone, including the board. Of course, everyone was new to the industry. So instead of coming in and patching mistakes and putting band-aids, the idea was to solve problems at the root, which means reimagining a lot of the business, reimagining a lot of the processes, and this takes time. And I'm so glad that despite all of the adversity, all of the struggles, the team under this leadership really flourished during the toughest year, which was last year when, as I've already mentioned, 25% of the year was pretty much lost to a COVID-led lockdown and washout of business. And I think the important part here to acknowledge is that no matter what industry everyone has come from, there is an attitude of teamwork and of putting people first. And there is a mindset of creating scale. We have big goals, we have big dreams for the company, but at the same time, execution is what is most important. And the one common factor of all of the CXOs is they have come from companies where execution really is the name of the game. We can have all of these big plans, we can have all of these business models, but ultimately every day we have to execute. So I think combined with a great business sense, ultimately whatever the industry, a lot of business is common sense. Given this need to grow, given the need to involve people as a good team, and the ability to execute and having people buy into this execution mindset, I think these have been really the keys. I don't really need to speak much about the performance because as you and everyone else has seen, the numbers are in front of us. We can see the progression from 2018 onwards. This has been a result of great teamwork led by this leadership team. So net, I've been absolutely delighted, thrilled. And the exciting thing is that the journey has just begun. We have a long way to go, but I think we are creating a very strong platform. We have created a very strong platform for OBL. Very quickly, I'd like to say a quick word about West and South. You're absolutely right. West and South in terms of consuming geographies are great markets. And we truly want to be a pan-India company, not only in terms of manufacturing, but in terms of sales. As in everything that we have done in the company, it starts with people. It's people first. So we have already begun the journey by hiring some great people both in the West and South region. To carry this answer forward, I would now like to hand over to our CEO Aditya. He will take this forward for West and South, and then both Aditya and Himanshu might like to add some things about your question on Proton and Korean. Over to you.
Thanks, Madhav. Thank you. Good morning to everybody, to all the shareholders. So, Mr. Vilayat, West and South, relatively high per capita consumption of tiles, but weak areas for Orientbell for quite a long time. What we have done is we have started investing in people. So we have created, specifically we have created a separate zone for West. We have created separate branches in the enterprise business to crack open the Bombay market. And also a lot of other hiring has been done and a lot more new branches have been opened up in South India. So both across retail and enterprise, and we have started seeing green shoots in both these geographies, and this is something which we will be working on very, very aggressively for the next 2 to 3 years. It's not just people. A lot of work has been done on relooking at and coming out with new products for the South and West market. Actually, just 2 days back, which was on Saturday, we launched a whole new series of GVT range specifically for the Western India market. This is the first time in the history of the company, I think, that we would have launched a product range specifically designed for the Western India market. So this is something, and there are a lot of other products which we are evaluating, which we will be working on. Work on distribution is continuing. Work on display is continuing. The chairman and the MD touched about how last year we had the maximum number of Orientbell tile boutiques added, and this work is now catching up steam both in South and West also. Very conscious of the fact that South and West are both markets which consume a higher average selling price of tiles, more profitable tiles, and so clearly a focus area for the company going forward. Your second question was in terms of our 2 joint ventures where we hold minority stakes, Proton and Coriel. Coriel is the younger JV which started operation in 2018, May-June 2018, just 3 years old. And we manufacture wall tiles there. And in Proton, we manufacture double charge. So you specifically asked whether we have any plans today to take up our stakeholding to 100%. The answer to that is no, there's nothing on the table as we speak. But our financial position in terms of balance sheet and all has kind of improved, has given us the ability to make investments in growth. And depending how the market environment shapes up, these could be possible options going out in future. But as we speak, there is nothing specific on the table to increase our shareholding in these 2 entities.
So good morning, and thanks for the question. I think there was a question coming in from Mr. Katua as well. So in terms of the large projects, Mr. Katua, we grew by 45% YOY. In terms of what we grew by 3% YOY. This was despite the Q1 washout. I think with this, Yogesh, we have covered all questions.
Yes, we have covered all questions. So moderator, this Ashok Joshi, Mr. Ashok Joshi is online.
He's online.
He's online.
Yes.
So Chairman, we can take Ashok Joshi online.
Yes, please go ahead.
With your permission. Okay. Mr. Ashok Joshi.
No, can't hear him.
He's still online, sir. Maybe.
But we can't hear him. Mr. Ashok Joshi, can you please speak out your question or views? I hope that he is still unable to join, unable to speak. So we can move on, Chairman.
Okay. Now I want to thank all the shareholders for joining in this AGM through VC and making the AGM a success. I also want to thank all our directors who have joined this meeting. The e-voting process will remain open for next 15 minutes to enable those members who have not cast their vote and would like to cast their vote, and therefore the meeting will stand concluded. The results would be announced on or before 28th July 2021, and the same would be intimated to the stock exchanges and will also be uploaded on the website of the company and NSDL. With your consent, I and other board members would like to leave the meeting and request all shareholders a healthy and safe future. Thank you very much.